The Hedgeless Horseman here. I thought I'd just say a few words about some of the recent developments in the Pilbara. First of all, I saw an article that was posted on my pilbaragoldnews.com website earlier today. It's not there anymore, but it said that a new company that I have never heard about before, called Mantri Minerals, had signed a letter of intent to purchase CTTR mining tenements in Australia. And this is basically the tenements that this new company had signed a letter of intent for. It's the pink one here, which belonged to Ridge Street Investments, and then the green ones are CTTR. I think they had signed the Ridge Street tenements a few weeks ago. So anyway, I've outlined the claims that they acquired or signed agreements on, and they basically talk a bit about they reference Novo's tenements and Pacton's tenements, etc., and how close they are to it. But if you look at the geological map, you can see that these claims are basically not covering any of the hotspots. The brown here is the Malina Basin, and this small claim here might actually have some lag gravels and stuff like that, but these big ones are primarily covering younger rocks and granites and stuff like that, and were potentially topographic highs back in the day. You can see here that I think the basin did not really cover this area, and that the central Pilbara sedimentary zone, basically the Malina Basin, just goes outside of their claims. And I guess that's one of the big reasons why Novo or Pacton haven't really picked these up. I mean, there's possibly some potential in some place and stuff like that, but I wouldn't really call this company a real contender in the conglomerate or lag gravel play. But of course they're gonna say that they are a contender. It's a relatively low market cap company. I mean, it's 2.25 million in market cap, and it was just basically listed and stuff like that. So it's a brand new company that wants to be a Pilbara player, but I don't really see the merit in owning them, because if you just take basically any other established Pilbara junior and summarize their conglomerate potential in square kilometers, and then you divide that by the market cap and compare to what these guys probably has, then they don't even look cheap. I don't own it, but I mean, can it go up on hype? Sure it can. Then we had another news release that said that Westway Mining reaches joint venture and farming agreement to advance the Tambina gold project. And I've actually revisited Westway Mining a bit since I got an email from a follower who asked about it, basically. And it's an interesting project. It's not that big, but But it does have some merit, I would say. I'm just gonna pull up the slides I found on Westway's homepage. So there's been quite a lot of historic work done on this project. So you can see here, 1976, 50 grams gold from 4 8-ton bulk samples taken from two ferruginous gold-bearing conglomerate horizons. The 30-ton sample gave an average grade of 1.56. Okay, that's a bit below what we hope Comet Well is, and the Beedens Creek formation. But again, it's acceptable, and we don't really know the if they sample the best zones and whatever. And then in 86 to 91, Westway Mining identified 4 gold mineralized heavy mineral placers, and the rock chip samples showed pretty nice grades as well. Maximum assay of 55 grams per ton. And 22 trenches were also dug with results, including 15 meters at 1.45, 5 meters at 2.27, 50 meters at 2.6. That's pretty nice grades. I mean, if that basically rhymes with what we've seen at Loudons and Comet Well. I mean, average from these trenches, at least the 3 best trenches, like 2 grams per ton. And the interesting part is that they did some RC drilling and returned the best results of 1 meters at 3.1 grams per ton, 1 meter at 5.4, and then some other drilling, 20 RC holes drilled with best intercept of 1 meter at 3.29, 1 meter 4.33, etc. So that's quite interesting. First of all, the grades are in the ballpark of Comet Well and Loudons Patch, and they were actually able to drill these conglomerates, or what I assume are conglomerates, and some of the results came back basically along the lines of what the bulk samples and trenches showed. So that's interesting, because as we know, Comet Well, we can't really, at least where they have been drilling now, we can't really hit gold in the drill bits. And I mean, we drilled I think 70 holes or so, no resources, that is. So that's interesting. It says the 3 mining leases cover conglomerates of the Bellery Formation, and the Bellery Formation is basically at the base of the Fortescue Group, stratigraphically below the Montreux Basalt. So according to Westway, it is the Bellery Formation, which is the same stratigraphic unit that Comet Well and Purdy's Reward, the gold there is found in. But at the same time, when you look at the geological map, it actually says that this is Hardy Formation. But at the same time, there might be a small island, let's call it an island, of Bellery Formation within the Hardy Formation here. Basically that perhaps locally the Hardy Formation has been eroded down, and there's a Bellery Formation present. It's quite interesting. It's not, I mean, it's not a big target if you compare it with Comet Well and Purdy's Reward, which is already up to 10 kilometers of strike. and open in a lot of directions. This is just a syncline, I think. But again, they talk about multiple reefs. True thickness of the conglomerate package is up to 50 meters. And again, a decent target size, especially if it's like 3 grams per ton. And we don't know how thick it is, so that obviously impacts the total gold endowment. There was another interesting part in the recent ASX release. It says, of significance, the study noted there is mineralization at surface which is associated with outcropping, I don't know how to pronounce that, but gossinous FeOx shirt layers. And they're supposedly the gold lines with length in meters. So I guess it's these lines. That's quite interesting because I don't know. I interpret it as basically not only perhaps conglomerates, but some shirt layers that are gold bearing as well, and that's really interesting because shirt layers, perhaps those are kind of gold bearing seams of some sort. It's something to keep an eye on, and if it is indeed Bellary Formation, then we at least have one area in the Pilbara, in the East Pilbara, where the Mount Roe conglomerates are actually drillable. I suppose they might have been just super lucky, but at the same time, if they would have hit a gold nugget with one of their drills, I think the grades would have said, the assays would have said that the grade is much higher than like 1.5 to 3 grams per ton. If you hit one of those nuggets in a small interval, that should result in assays, high grade assays. So we don't know, but it's interesting that one, it's gold bearing here, because this basically is this area, Tambina, is basically found between Beedens Creek in the east, Marble Bar with Virgin Creek, and other Mount Roe, confirmed Mount Roe gold conglomerates, and then we have West Pilbara with a lot of confirmed gold. So basically this is sandwiched in between all the other known targets, and it's apparently drillable and has some interesting shirt layers. That's basically it. Thanks for listening.